The LA Clippers find themselves at the center of a mounting controversy, yet don't expect the harshest possible penalty, canceling Kawhi Leonard's contract, to be part of the fallout. This situation has been simmering beneath the surface for over a year, as it became clear the Clippers were preparing for life after the Kawhi Leonard and James Harden partnership. They've been deliberately positioning themselves to pivot, a strategy that aligns with recent reports highlighting the team's growing frustration with Leonard. This pattern fits seamlessly with their long-term plan to free up significant salary cap space by 2027, just in time to pursue several marquee free agents such as Giannis Antetokounmpo, Nikola Jokic, and Karl Anthony Towns. But here's where it gets controversial. The Clippers' pivot in strategy was underway well before new allegations surfaced implicating owner Steve Ballmer and the franchise in attempts to evade salary cap rules. Only recently, fresh claims emerged on the Pablo Torre Finds Out podcast, suggesting complex financial dealings linked to Leonard's endorsement deal may have been a scheme to manipulate the cap. According to the podcast, Ballmer and minority owner Dennis Wong invested in Aspiration, a so-called green bank and a Clippers sponsor, which also paid Leonard a $48 million endorsement. However, there is no evidence Leonard actually engaged in any promotional work, raising suspicions that this endorsement was a no-show deal designed to circumvent salary cap restrictions. As these allegations gain traction, speculation about potential punishments is heating up. The NBA's official investigation is underway and expected to extend into the heart of the upcoming season. While the league's disciplinary options include fines, capped at $7.5 million, which, interestingly, is less than what Ballmer makes in interest in a very short time, the real sting could come from suspending executives or even stripping away future draft picks, a serious blow to any franchise's future. There's also the theoretical possibility of voiding Leonard's contract and making him a free agent, but insiders say that's highly unlikely, partly because the Clippers might actually welcome such a development. The latest accusations add more fuel to the fire. Mavericks minority owner Mark Cuban weighed in, defending Ballmer and the Clippers by suggesting the team's involvement with Aspiration was more straightforward. They purchased carbon credits through Aspiration, which is precisely what the company was selling. Yet the Pablo Torre Finds Out podcast released internal documents, including a bank letter signed by the Clippers' chief financial officer, and insider testimonies from Aspiration staff. These documents indicate that the Clippers rushed through a $21 million carbon credit deal in June 2022, mere weeks before Leonard's endorsement payments began, all while the Intuit Dome Arena was still being built. The podcast further alleges that Ballmer and the Clippers invested a total of $118 million in Aspiration over an 18-month span, from September 2021 to March 2023. Leonard's $48 million endorsement deal with Aspiration included $20 million paid in Aspiration stock, which has since become worthless due to the company's bankruptcy. And again, no proof exists that Leonard fulfilled any promotional duties under this deal. Ballmer and the Clippers issued statements to address these claims, emphasizing that purchasing carbon credits was part of their commitment to making the new Intuit Dome a sustainable, green-certified venue, something Ballmer personally prioritizes. They also asserted they were misled by Aspiration the same way other investors reportedly were. Their statement to the podcast reads, "Our development agreements for the arena included mandates to buy carbon credits. But after studying neutrality, we went far beyond those requirements, exploring ways to reduce emissions caused by fans attending games. We contracted Aspiration to buy carbon offsets and broker additional purchases. Some commitments were tied to the sponsorship deal with Aspiration, completely separate from the investment in the company. And we made payments until Aspiration could no longer fulfill their responsibilities." Turning back to Leonard's contract, this carbon credits controversy adds another layer to an already overwhelming pile of circumstantial evidence. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver has noted that the league bears the burden of proving any salary cap violations occurred. Importantly, the NBA apparently seeks hard evidence that Ballmer knowingly tried to dodge salary cap rules, something unlikely to be found given the sophistication of legal and financial checks on such contracts. Silver seems more inclined to discuss reforming rules around endorsements and investments than imposing severe penalties. But the Clippers seem destined for something beyond a mere slap on the wrist. Could the punishment reach the extreme of voiding Leonard's contract, which currently pays him $50 million for this season and slightly more next? Technically, yes. Under the collective bargaining agreement, the league has that authority. However, experts don't expect Silver to use it. Why? Because the Clippers are already mentally prepared to move on from this era. Although they've assembled a veteran roster that looks promising relative to last year's 50-win campaign, they are not considered genuine title contenders in the immediate future. Their postseason success hinges precariously on two unpredictable factors: Leonard's ongoing health and how Harden performs under playoff pressure. If Leonard's contract were voided, the Clippers would gain substantial salary cap flexibility next summer, opening the door to pursuing a star player through free agency or trades, thus accelerating their rebuild timeline to 2026 or beyond. This potential outcome might actually align well with the team's intentions. Adding to the intrigue, NBA analyst John Hollinger points out that the league's investigation will likely conclude mid-season. If Leonard's contract were canceled at that moment, it could spark a chaotic scramble among playoff teams willing to gamble on signing him for a limited term. However, none would have more than a minimum or near-minimum salary to offer. Hollinger also highlights Leonard's desire to play in Los Angeles, raising the provocative question: would Leonard consider joining the Lakers on a minimum contract, especially since the Lakers' salary cap is currently locked until mid-January due to luxury tax restrictions? One of Hollinger's most intriguing ideas is that Silver might impose a penalty by forcing the Clippers to count the $48 million from Leonard's endorsement as part of their salary figures, thereby triggering a significant luxury tax bill. While this is speculative and less probable than outright voiding Leonard's contract, it reflects the creative disciplinary measures the league might adopt. In all likelihood, the Clippers will face fines, lose 1 or 2 first-round draft picks, and perhaps see a suspension for a front office figure, though it's doubtful that Ballmer himself will be suspended, particularly with the Intuit Dome scheduled to host the NBA All-Star Game soon. Of course, it's still possible that penalties could be harsher, but everything hinges on the league's ongoing investigation, which promises to remain a developing story for some time. This saga raises important questions about the boundaries of endorsement deals, ownership investments, and salary cap compliance. Do you think the Clippers deserve tougher punishment for this alleged cap circumvention? Should Leonard's contract be at risk even without proof he was involved in wrongdoing? Let's start the conversation below and hear what you think.